Okay, good morning everybody. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Mark Gibbons. I'm from Sterling Adaptives. We're a Northern California-based assistive technology company, and we represent AI Squared low vision software here in Northern California. We're actually the master distributor. And I want to take this opportunity today to inform you of the new version of ZoomText that came out in the last year called ZoomText Fusion. ZoomText Fusion is a product that moves beyond where ZoomText Magnifier screen reader is. Most people are very familiar with ZoomText. It is the leading magnification software. It has about an 80% market share for low vision software. So let's get to move on. ZoomText Fusion. What is ZoomText Fusion? Well, the first thing I can tell you is it comes in a very different color box. Regular ZoomText Magnifier only comes in a green box. ZoomText Magnifier Reader comes in a blue box, and ZoomText Fusion comes in a red box. ZoomText Fusion is primarily designed for clients who may well have a progressive eye disease, who at some point realize that just having magnification is not going to be enough and they may need to move on to a full-blown screen reader. We do have the ZoomText Magnifier Reader version, but the reading part of that is really not a screen reader. It's more of a reading tool that enables you to get more out of using the ZoomText Magnifier. So it basically provides all the features of ZoomText Magnifier Reader plus a complete screen reader. And in fact, when you install the product, you get both products installed at the same time, so that somebody can start working with ZoomText Magnifier Reader and then move on to Fusion at a later date should they choose to. They like to think of ZoomText Fusion as ZoomText Magnifier Reader on steroids. I've heard that said many, many, many times before. It gives you much more speech feedback, and it grows with you as you move forward. One of the downsides that a lot of people have found to starting with ZoomText, especially those people who have deteriorating sight that they may need to move to screen readers, that there hasn't until now been a product that they could start with and then move on to very easily. Most people, as I said, go to ZoomText when they look at low vision magnification, and then when they were moving to a screen reader, they were ended up moving to JAWS, so they had to learn a whole new product. So with the introduction of ZoomText Fusion, we're hoping to allow this transition from magnification to full screen reading to be a much smoother, easier path for these people. And as it says at the bottom there, on the last point there, it's an all-inclusive, one-size-fits-all assistive technology package, and there's no more needing to learn multiple hotkey sets. You learn one way of using the product, and that's the way you'll always use it, whether you're using the magnification or the screen reading in the future. So, anybody who's familiar with ZoomText, the original version or the current version of ZoomText Magnifier's screen reader, Magnifier Reader should I say, will notice the control panel. It's very, very typical. ZoomText has always had a control panel, and it always has these tabs on the control panel, and up until now you've just had the Magnifier tab, the Reader tab, the Tools tab, and we've now added the Fusion tab, which adds new features, including the full screen reading ability. And the features that you can play around with, apart from the settings in the new Fusion tab, are things like the Learning Center. One of the things that we decided, or AI Squared decided was very, very important, was with a new product. So often nowadays, clients don't always get training automatically or start working in something before they get training, and they wanted to give a way of giving lots of built-in support to people. So currently, and the collection is growing, there are over 40 audio and video learning modules to help get users started. These are things like help with certain things in Office, Word, using the internet. And they're both available to clients in just audio or in video and audio. Tutor Mode is another thing that's been added. It basically provides automatic contextual information. Basically what that means is it tells you how to interact in the active window that you're in. So if you're on the desktop, it won't just say the name of the icon, but it'll tell you to move through icons, use the up and down arrows. So that's contextual information. Browse mode is a way of simply interacting with the internet without actually causing the internet to do anything. So it's a way of looking at an internet web page without actually integrating with it or actually interacting with it until you need to. So in other words, you can browse a whole web page, and when you need to enter something into maybe an edit box, you can then go out of browse mode into the edit box and type what you wanted to type. And we have very, very good page navigation, so you can efficiently list and search web pages by elements and other things. So you'll see here there's a new tab here called Fusion, and there's different things there. But the actual product looks pretty much the same when you open it up, just the extra tab there, and of course the icon, instead of being a yellow icon, is a red icon on the desktop. We have built in a very, very comprehensive setup wizard. So when it first comes on, you get the choice to either skip and use the defaults, which would be a basic easy setting, or you can actually choose to go through the setup wizard, which will take any user stage by stage through all things, everything from how fast you want it to read, to how large you want the magnification, to the different color combinations that you might like your screen to look like. There are 17 different features that you can set up during this setup wizard, and it allows any user to see the changes as they make the changes. So in other words, if they choose to do a different magnification, they will automatically see the magnification they've chosen. So it's not like you make a choice but you can't see the choice you made. So if you change a color scheme, then you will see the color scheme change at that point, so you can decide, is that the right color scheme for me? It's very simple to use. It's not only magnified, but it also speaks to you. As it says there, it will be displayed as soon as you first install the product and first run the product. The setup wizard will come up, and if you want to, and you don't want to set it up for somebody, you just say skip and use the defaults, but you can always go back and use the setup wizard at a later date to actually set up an individual client's preferences, or let them choose their preferences as they go. And down in the bottom right hand corner here, we have a way of getting into those things. So if you want to open up the ZoomText user interface, you can use Control plus Shift plus U, and then press Alt plus S to open the settings menu, and then press Enter or S to choose the setup wizard. So basically that's saying that on the control panel, which was the previous image that you had, if you go into the settings menu, you can find the setup wizard there if you want to do it at a later date. Key describer mode. This is something that we built in, quite useful for those people who are not very familiar with what they're doing. It allows you to have a program speak back individual keys and program hotkeys combinations that are pressed on the keyboard. It's a good way of learning the different hotkeys that are available without actually doing anything on a computer. So key describer mode is effectively a way of checking what keys do without actually making the computer do anything. You know, you don't want to hit accidental keys when you're learning a keyboard and accidentally go into programs and things that you don't want to do. So key describer mode enables you to just do that. To activate key describer mode, you can press Insert +1 and you'll hear ZoomText say key describer on. You can then press any key or a hotkey combination on a keyboard and you'll hear ZoomText speak it back to you, and it'll tell you what it would have done had you been interacting with the computer at that time. For example, pressing Alt plus Shift plus S and you'll hear ZoomText describe the speech toggle key. While you're in the key describer mode, you will not be able to type or perform actions in other programs. So that's telling you that's how key describer works. And then to exit it, it's Insert +1 again, and it'll say key describer off. So it's a very useful tool for somebody. If somebody forgets a hot key or certain combinations of keys, they can just turn the key describer mode on, check the hotkey is correct, then turn the key describer mode off, and then they can use that hotkey without actually causing any problems. So often if you forget what a hotkey is and you press something, you'll end up somewhere on a computer you don't want to be. The Learning Center. This is the thing I mentioned earlier on. This is the very unique thing that we've done within this product to enable new users and users to understand more. It's called the Learning Center. As I said, it's a collection of over 50 audio and video learning tutorials that will walk you through how to configure and how to use ZoomText Fusion, as well as teach you other basic computer skills in Microsoft Windows and Office applications. And this over on the right-hand side here is what it would look like when you open up the Learning Center. You have a Getting Started section, you have a Magnification section, a Speech section, a Computer Basics section, a Web section, and a Microsoft Office section. So within there are a number of different videos that relate to the subjects at the top there. And that number of videos that have been done and audio tutorials that have been done is growing as we move forward with the product. It's not something that we just stuck with 50. As we come up with new videos, we have AI Squared actually has somebody that they're paying to provide these support tutorials to people who have the product. The Learning Center tutorials are organized into categories. As I mentioned before, you'll find there's a large graphical buttons for each of the tutorial categories on the home screen of the Learning Center. And you can move between these by either clicking on them or use the arrow keys to move between them and then pressing enter to go through to them. So that's really something very unique to this product to support users of the product. So many products don't have a massive amount of support built into them, especially software, and it really requires somebody to, get a hands-on one-on-one training with somebody to start using the product. With this, hopefully, somebody could actually start playing around with it before their trainer arrives. Tutor Mode. I mentioned this before. This is about giving the contextual information as the user is interacting with their computer. It comes on automatically in the program. And it automatically activates itself when you've been idle using a computer for 2 seconds. And you can change that as well. You can change the period of time. So as I said before, if you're on a desktop icon, for example, it will read the current item label and then it will tell you how to navigate the list of options and open selected items or rename them. So contextual help helps people who are using the product, mainly in the early stages of using the product, or maybe in the early stages of using Windows. It will enable them to get help in knowing what to do when they move to an area of the computer they haven't been to before. If they went from the desktop to Windows Explorer, how to navigate through it. Windows Explorer can tell you when you move to a web page, to tell you how to navigate through the web page and what options are there. To change Tutor Mode's delay and settings, you'd use the Control-Shift-U to open up the ZoomText user interface. That's basically what I call the control panel. You then press Alt-U to activate the Fusion menu, and then choose T for Tutor Mode. And in the dialog, you can use the up and down arrow keys to change the delay, as well as the pitch for tutor messages. So if you want to distinguish between the computer speaking and any tutorial messages or contextual information, you can change the pitch of that voice so that you can tell the difference so you don't get confused. Browse Mode. Browse Mode allows you to efficiently navigate a web page using the keyboard and an invisible cursor. In Browse Mode, you can use many of the standard Windows text navigation keyboard commands to read and navigate web pages. And again, we have a few of the key combinations down here, how you can navigate. Navigating by headings can be done by using a single key navigation. So you can use the letter H to navigate a web page one by the headings. To move to a specific heading level, you press the number of the heading level followed by H. So you can actually, if you know the web page well enough, you can skip down to the heading you know. Some web pages, the headings are always the same, so if you learn specific web pages, you can actually skip very quickly, but if you know which heading you like to go to. You can navigate by links by using the L, and then you can navigate by forms by using the letter F. So we tried to make a very simple way of being able to navigate a web page without actually interacting with it. It's so often very easy to be interacting with a website and to forget that you're interacting with a website and get to something and press enter or hit a key and it makes something happen, and then you're somewhere completely different and you might struggle to get back to where you were before. Browse Mode allows you to actually navigate without interacting or causing the web page to change in any shape or form. And when you get to the thing you want to do, you then come out of Browse Mode and then interact with the link or the field that you want to at that point. Page navigation, we have built-in page navigation. Insert F7 is the key to open that up. So this will bring up a list of information that you can then choose. It basically pulls information from the web page that you're on. Page Nav provides you with a list of all web page elements on the current page to quickly find what you're looking for. It can also be used in Word and Excel and PowerPoints. The items that this list can pull up that you can help to navigate are comments, hyperlinks, bookmarks, footnotes, endnotes, objects, revisions, form fields, named areas, cells in column, cells in row, worksheets, charts, spelling and grammatical errors. Again, this is a way you can pull information from the active window that you're on to then navigate very quickly by certain options, and those options I just read out are the options that you can choose to navigate the page by. If you know the page well, you may just want to move through the hyperlinks if there's a web page, or maybe it'd be form fields if you know you're on a form that needs to be filled in. Pronunciation. Pronunciation is a way that you can make a synthesizer pronounce something correctly. All different speech products that work on a computer have a thing called a speech engine. That's the sound of the voice you have. And they have different names and they're from different manufacturers. But they all work differently and they all say certain words differently. Like I, as an English person, will say certain words differently from an American person. So no speech engine is perfect. And if you find a speech engine you really like, for most of the time, but some words it says wrong, you can actually make it say the word correctly. Effectively what you do is you spell out the way you think it should be spelt to make the speech synthesizer say it the way you want it to be said. Here's a good example. Yesterday when I was driving my car, I was going down a street and it asked me to turn on to Champs-Élysées Drive. But the speech engine built in my car, which does the navigation, said Champs-Élysées. Or was it Elysis? It was really weird the way it said it. But in that example, if you can work out phonetically how to make it say Champs-Élysées, or how to phonetically make it say the thing you want it to say, you can change that. You basically put the original word in and then you type in a replacement, but you type it in a phonetical way that will eventually make it sound the way you want it to. So you have the ability to really change things around. This is really useful for people with very unusual last names and unusual words. Speech engines say the majority of things really well, but they don't say everything perfectly. So this allows you to change those things if it becomes really annoying to you. If you have a certain word that's you listen to all the time and it's being said wrong, you can change it. And you can also ZoomText Fusion features program-specific help. In other words, if you're in the middle of a certain application or program, it will give you help. By pressing the Insert and the F1 key to launch the program help, it will come up with a dialog that contains information about how to use the current application you are using. So if you're in the middle of Microsoft Word, it will come up with a list of things that you can use, or shortcut keys, or keys that you can use in ZoomText to interact with Microsoft Word. You can either use the up and down arrows to read this dialog manually, or you can have ZoomText Fusion read the dialog back to you. Very, very simple to do, very useful if you're in the middle of Microsoft Word and you've forgotten how to do a save as or something like that. It will bring up a window of all the things you can do with the keystrokes to do it. Again, it's another part of this, wanting to make sure that all of our clients that have this product have as much support as possible to get the most out of the product, and have it built in as opposed to always ask them to go somewhere else to get the information. Here is the pricing for the product. Currently the pricing is it's $999 for the single user. That's $400 more expensive than the Mag Reader. So effectively, you're getting a screen reader for $400, but you're getting a product that's going to grow with a client long term. There's a USB version at $1,099. If you're already an owner or a user of ZoomText Magnifier, you can move to Fusion for $599. If you're a user of the Magnifier Reader version, it's $399, and a paid upgrade from the version, if you're a Windows user and you want ZoomText Fusion, it's $99. If you have any questions, please feel free to do them now. This is where you can download the link that's here. ZoomText.com/Fusion is where you can get more information on the product. You can download a trial version of it. I always say that's a really good thing to do, is download the trial version. It is at least 30 days. I think it's 60 days actually. The trial version is a full working product that will just stop working after 60 days. But it's a really good way of learning if the product's going to be useful for you. There are not many people who provide software trial licenses that last so long, but it's a really good way of learning if this is the right product for you. So if anybody has any questions, please pass them on to me now. Right, somebody did have a question here. Will Fusion read math? Fusion will read out numbers and everything else that is put in front of it, yes. Okay. I don't seem to have any more questions. So this is our contact information. As I said, we're located in Northern California, just north of the Golden Gate Bridge. There's our website address, www.sterlingadaptives.com. There's my email address, Mark, M-A-R-K, @sterlingadaptives.com. That's STERLINGADAPTIVES.com. And our phone number is 415-878-2922. I thank you all for listening this morning. If you have any further questions, please contact me at the telephone number or the email address there. We're happy to help in any way we can. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Again, my name is Cory Hanosh with NorthState Assistive Technology. And like Mark, we're also located in Northern California, but slightly different place of Northern California. We're north of Sacramento, up in the Chico area, but we cover a wide range of territory, and also have several different product lines. But kind of a background on where we started with this Revo to Go is about 2 years ago we started to look at how to incorporate or integrate into an all-in-one machine for the visually impaired. A lot of the manufacturers had started at that point to incorporate into their video magnifiers the text-to-speech, which is great. It's a great product, and for certain individuals, it fits their needs. But for somebody that's already going onto a computer, we wanted to see what else we could offer to them. And while we were looking, we found out that there was an Android tablet about 22 inches that we were able to incorporate into a camera system that we were selling. So that became the original revolution. So we had an Android tablet, 22-inch, with an Acrobat-style camera, the 3-in-1 over the top of the monitor that allowed you to do desktop view, distance view, and also self-view. And then we had a secondary camera off to the side that would take a picture and allow you to utilize the application on the Android tablet for text-to-speech. The problem with that system that we found out was it's just not as portable as a lot of our consumers needed. And so after that, we started to look at, okay, how can we make it into a more compact form factor for students and professionals and really anybody that wants to be able to take their devices with them. And so during that time, we found an Android tablet that was 12.2 inches made by Samsung, and started to incorporate not only the text-to-speech application that we had written, but also a magnifier app that would utilize the integrated camera and also allow the user then to be able to do their internet and their email and any other application that they felt was necessary. So if they're on a cruise, they can have their video magnifier with them and also text-to-speech and still be able to check their internet. So it's kind of going initially towards the school market, but we're finding that even some of the seniors that are already up on smartphones or tablets can utilize our device. And so it's been pretty exciting seeing all the different markets that we've been able to touch. So what you're seeing on the screen now, if you have access to that, is the actual screen of the Android tablet 12.2 inch. You'll see different icons, and one of the keys to utilizing the Android system versus maybe even the iOS is the ability to use widgets. And what widgets allow us to do is to make the icons much larger than normal size icons. Now in this, you still have the magnification ability to where, like on the iOS, if you use 3 fingers and double tap, you get a magnification. Android does it slightly different. It's a single finger triple tap to allow for magnification. So that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch my screen 3 times. And that way I can magnify those smaller icons to make them larger. But if I don't want to do that, I can actually make the icons much larger and allow for somebody to be able to see them a little bit easier. So that's how the system comes. We have some larger icons, just kind of the key ones. And across the top of the screen, those are the key ones that we add to the system. The reader is your text-to-speech application. The center one, the blue, is the magnifier, and that's your live mode magnification. And the far right is the Revo 2 distance. And we actually do have a Sony camera that we ship with the system that is wireless, so a student can still see the whiteboard from a distance and be able to work that way. So those are the 3 things that I'm going to focus on right now. And we're going to start with the center button. That's the Magnifier app. All I do is I simply touch that, and that starts the magnifier or the integrated camera and allows me to now move my page underneath the magnification. Now you might see a little bit of a lag. That's because I have it connected to my computer, so we're having a process signal there. So it's slightly laggy is what I've noticed. Just making sure my computer doesn't go to sleep on me. From here, what we've done is it's a very intuitive system. So what we would normally expect on a touch screen is being able to pinch to zoom, and certainly I can do that, just simply pinching on the screen to make it as large as I need it to be. And then from there, we have other touch ways to manipulate it around. So if I want to change the color modes, that's actually 3 fingers touching the screen simultaneously. So that's what I'm going to do now. And that'll cycle through about 6 or 7 different color modes for the individual. Again, most people will utilize the black on white or white on black, but there are red, yellow on black, green on black, and other color modes that somebody might be able to utilize. There's a couple other touch motions that we have. If you want to remove the light source from the camera, 4 fingers touching the screen at the same time, we'll do that. So if you have a glossy sheet, and we're in kind of a darker room, so I do need that light, so I'm going to put it back on. All right. There we go. And let's get the focus on the camera back. And also to do that, 1 finger touching the screen will refocus the camera. So if it's out of focus, they just simply touch it with 1 finger, and then it will do the refocus on it. Now from here, if I want to freeze the image, 5 fingers will do that trick. So now I have frozen the image on the screen. Or if you see the menu on the left side, that center yellow button will also take a snapshot of it, and I can then manipulate it, make it bigger, change color modes and such like that. So that's kind of with the magnification. I can also write underneath the device. So if I put my pen on the table, I can actually then start writing underneath it. This really is kind of the best part of the live mode is the ability to use it in live mode. There is a competitive product out there, the Prodigy Connect from Humanware. What we have found in side-by-side comparisons is that the live mode with ours is much better than theirs. And that's because they just have a lot different lag system within it. So again, that's really where we've been able to come out with a product that is much better. So from here, you have your settings at the bottom left. I'll look at that a little bit later when we get over to the Reader app. But in order to close that, I can either hit my Home button on the screen itself, or I can hit the top red X. So I'm going to hit the top red X to close that out. And that just simply closes out the application. And now we can look at what else is on the screen. If I go to the top left, that's our Reader application. But I want to make note of the file folder right to the right of that. And that's actually the page reader text files. So that'll be important when I show you the Reader app now. So I'm going to start the Reader application. Now this is our text-to-speech program. Down on the bottom you'll see hot buttons on the screen. The first one on the left side is actually the save file, and that would be saving it as a JPEG. That way, if you're wanting to take a bunch of saves and you don't want to have the system process it, you can save it straight away. You don't have to have it, wait for 10 seconds and let it start reading to you before you save it. You can start saving, and if I do that, I'm just going to bring this stand that we have up a little bit so I can capture the full document. I'm going to hit the Save button, and so it saves it immediately. So I don't have to go through the process of having it process and everything else for me. The next one over is our original or wrapped version. That makes it to where it looks exactly like what you've just taken a picture of, or takes all of the graphics out and only leaves the text in there. So it's really kind of a personal preference at that point. And then the settings button is in the center. Column or table mode can be activated from this preview mode. And then the final button on the far right is your file manager to go back to your saved JPEGs. You can also turn the light on and off up in the top right corner. I'm going to take another picture here. Now I'm just going to capture the image. So I just touched the center of the screen, or really anywhere on the screen, and now it's going to take a picture and start processing. Once it's done, it'll present it up on the screen. So what I did was I touched the screen just to pause it. Now from here, again, you can pinch to zoom to make it as big as you need it to be, and then you can manipulate it with your finger to wherever you want to start from. Now wherever I touch on the screen from here is where it's going to start reading from again. Well, that's always what happens in a demo, right? We'll have to recapture the image. Let's try that again. See if we can get a better picture this time. Okay, now I just touched it again to pause it so I can get back to what we were doing before. And again, wherever I touch is where it's going to start from again. Now from here, what you'll notice is there's other icons on the screen. The top left red X is obviously to exit out. The next one down actually will change the color modes, and you can cycle between all the different color modes and natural color as well. Right now we have it in the white on black. Below that is that same save button from before. Now that will also save it as a JPEG, which then allows you to recall it later. But if you'll notice up in the top right corner, now we have a TXT save button. And what that actually allows us to do is to save this document as a text file. And where that's important is for students or anybody else that wants to manipulate this document later, they can actually open that text file in Google Docs or Windows and actually then start working on it. So if it's a student and they need to start adding stuff to it, they can do it that way. So, and that's really where that's saved in that file folder that's right next to the icon on the home screen, which allows you to easy access to where that's located at. So again, from here, pinching to zoom makes it larger or smaller. You can hit that center button again. That toggles back to the original mode. And then from here you can see just manipulating around. There's actually some pictures of the device here. You'll notice that that's on a portable stand. The tablet itself is a 12.2-inch tablet. You have a portable stand that comes with it, and it folds down to even smaller than the actual tablet size itself. So again, for a student putting that into a backpack that it does come with, very simple to take around with them. You'll see a keyboard down there. That's a large format Bluetooth keyboard. That's an option for the unit. Makes for entry a lot easier than trying to type on the on-screen keyboard itself. And then the camera, that's the wireless distance camera. Now what's nice about that is that can actually be up to 30 feet away from the device. So if it's in a teacher situation and the student needs to be able to see the whiteboard, but they don't want it back on their desk, the teacher can strategically place that anywhere in the room, and so the student can have access to that camera and be able to see the whiteboard. So the next thing I want to show you is our distance camera, and that's actually an application that's on the screen there, the far right. And so I've turned on my camera. I'm activating that application, and it connects via the Wi-Fi, which is quite nice because it has a very strong signal. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now from here, that's about 15 feet away. And all I wanted to do was to just show you that we can place on the on-screen buttons to zoom all the way into it. It'll refocus. And so at a distance, you can then start reading something. So again, it's quite easy. There's physical buttons on the side of the camera, or you can use the on-screen buttons in order to manipulate the camera. Now from here, you can capture still images, or you can actually capture video if you want to record the lecture as well. So there's a lot of flexibility with that. If you're capturing the image itself, those pictures then can be imported into the page reader application or the OCR application, and you can have those read to you as well. So again, the device, there's just so much different functionality that's available to you with the machine. So I'm going to back all the way out now again, go back to our screen. And now from here, you have access to the open tablet. So you can check your email, you can get on the internet, any application like Bard Mobile or Audible for book service, you can do that. Anybody that is utilizing one of the smart pens or the live scribe pens, you can actually take notes while your tablet is audio recording them, and then when you're reviewing that, you go back to your notes, and anywhere you touch on your special pad you've been writing on, it'll bring that audio back up onto at that point in time. So makes for a lot of nice things that I guess I wish I would have had as a student, but there's definitely a lot of open applications there. I think last time they said was about 1.5 million applications on the Google Play Store. So there's something for everybody there. With this open platform, another kind of area that we've been finding home for it is for individuals that have some other issue as well, whether it's speech pathology or traumatic brain injury issues, because there's actually applications that we can download to the machine that will engage them that way as well. So now, you know, if they have multiple issues where it's visual and cognitive, we can now engage them both visually and cognitively with the device. So we're finding cross disciplines can use this as well. Now, one last thing that I wanted to show you on it is we also, well, within Android they have what they call TalkBack, which is like VoiceOver from the iOS. It's it's a good use for those that are visually impaired. We find TalkBack is a little bit harder to utilize because everything you do is you initiate and then activate with a double tap. So what we wanted to do was to find another screen reader that allowed us to a little bit easier workings with it. So we came out with another screen reader that is an option for the device. And if you can check or see the bottom of my screen, you'll see a red bar that's kind of highlighted there. That means that my screen reader is activated. So I can have it activated or not. But what happens is if I slide up from the bottom, it will actually highlight all of my icons, and then from there I can just release and determine which one I just had. So now we actually have a screen reader. It's a little bit more localized voice than what TalkBack offers, and so now you have access to that even on your web pages. So again, same thing, I'm just sliding through to get to something. And then from here, what I do is I just get to where I want. Now, obviously, we can pinch to zoom, but if I want to have that red, so now if I want to stop that, I just slid back again from the bottom of the screen up, and it stops the voice. So again, you have access to an on-screen reader at all times. That's one that nobody else is currently offering on the Android system. And let's see, I guess to summarize, we have a all-in-one machine that allows you to do magnification, text-to-speech, distance, and also the open tablets for somebody that can, utilize it for any other need that they have. Let's see, let me back down a little bit here and see. And this is produced by our company, NorthState Assistive Technology. It's available throughout the U.S. We have dealers in different areas. We also cover all of California as well. And if there's any questions, you can contact us at www.northstate.com, or contact number is 877-682-0452, and my contact direct is Cory, C-O-R-Y, at northstateat.com. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to field those, or if you think of something after the presentation, we could do that too. There's two levels of pricing for the product itself. If you would like the full system, which comes with the distance camera, that's $2,995. Without the distance camera, it's $300 less at $2,695, so $2,695. That includes the tablet, the case for the tablet, which has a kickstand on the back, so if the student just wants to utilize their tablet, they don't have to pull out their portable stand. It does come with the portable stand, and for a special promotion, we're offering the screen reader and the large format Bluetooth keyboard at no charge through the summer.
Thank you, by the way, for having us on today. And we can actually start with a video. So we can use in the deck on the Kickstarter button, there's a play button. We could even press that and show the video, and then I can start my presentation after the video. I think the video serves as a nice introduction to the product.
Constantly checking your phone because you're worried about missing a call, text, or email? Missed calls because your phone was in your purse and you didn't hear it ring? Or worried about leaving your phone behind? That's why we created Ditto. Ditto helps people to stay connected without always having to check their phone. Ditto vibrates when someone important to you is trying to get in touch. Ditto is really tiny and super lightweight, so it fits easily, even in the smallest pocket. It also has a built-in clip, so you can attach it anywhere. For example, to your shirt collar, waistband, or bra strap. And Ditto is discreet. You can wear it under your clothes, so you're still free to wear your favorite watch or jewelry. Or wear it on its wristband. Just clip Ditto on in the morning and go live your life. Ditto will vibrate when you get calls, texts, emails, and other notifications that you've set as your favorites in the Ditto app. And you can customize the vibrations so you'll know exactly when to check your phone. Ditto has a digital tether, so you'll know if you've left your phone behind. And it has a silent wake-up alarm, so you wake up, not your partner. Ditto is also waterproof, so you can wear it at the gym or even while swimming. We made Ditto as simple as possible. There are no buttons, switches, displays, lights, connectors, or even charging cables. In fact, you never need to charge Ditto. After many months, when its power is low, you'll get a message notifying you when to replace its low-cost battery. So put Ditto on, wear it anywhere, and be more connected to what matters most.
Perfect, thank you. Great, well, thank you for having us, as I mentioned. So the video gave you hopefully a little overview about what the product is. And the company is called Simple Matters. So Simple Matters is relatively new. It's still considered to be in the startup phase. And Ditto was the very first product that Simple Matters put out. And Simple Matters, strives to create other products that are going to make life easier. And Ditto, when it was originally designed, it was actually created for the mass market. And the product was conceptualized in 2014. We went through a crowdfunding campaign, we went through a Kickstarter campaign to raise funds for the product. We had a successful campaign. We launched at the Consumer Electronics Show and kind of took off from there. And what we've realized, over the last year and a half in having this product out in the market is that not only was it a mass market product, but it also connected with different types of niche markets and different types of demographics and communities. And one of the communities that we found really connected with this product is the deaf and hard of hearing community, among others. So I'll tell you a little about how we've customized and changed some of the messaging and also some of the product offerings to really bring more value to that community along with others. So essentially, as you may have seen in the video, it's a very small notification wearable. It's about the size of a quarter, and it comes in 3 different colors, so white, clear, and black. And Ditto is really an extension of your cell phone or your smartphone. As you can see in these photos, it has an integrated clip, and you can clip the product onto your shirt, a jean pocket, anywhere on your pants. Some women wear it on their bra strap if you want to be really discreet on it. It also comes with a band, which I'll show you later on, so you can actually put the product on a band. And a lot of people like to wear that on a band as well, especially if you're using it as a silent alarm when you wake up in the morning or any sort of notification. Ditto is small, it's super lightweight. It comes with a battery. You do not need to charge it. The battery does run out eventually, but it takes a few months and you can replace the battery pretty easily. It's similar to a watch battery. And what the product essentially does is notifies you of incoming calls, incoming texts, mobile apps, your favorites. It also has a tether function, which you may see in the video. So if you were to step far away from your phone, it will also alert you, let you know that you do not have your phone on you. So as I mentioned, it's a pretty good product. We've had some really great response from the market and from different communities for this product. So in terms of finding other markets for the product, as I mentioned, we found that the deaf and hard of hearing community really connected to this product because it's a silent notificator. You don't need to be looking at your phone. You don't need to hear your phone. You can feel the vibration, and the vibration is actually really strong. But it's not like the whole room will sense it. You will be the only person that knows that you're getting a notification. And you can set it to be notified of any call and any text and anything on social media, or you can customize it so that only a couple of people that you want to hear from, those calls you're being notified of. So one of the things that we did as a company when we realized that there was a demand in different types of communities is we started going to different trade shows. So one of the trade shows, as you can see in these photos, is we went to Audiology Now, we went to Deaf Nation, and at Audiology Now is really when we introduced the product to the hearing care industry. And now we're working to really integrate with other products on the market to bring even more value to those consumers. We went to Deaf Nation recently in Pomona, and we were actually able to sell 96 units in less than a day, and there's only about 1,000 attendees. So having that 10% sell-through is really great. And one of the things that I think helps is the price point. And I'll talk about some of the specs later, but Ditto is available for under $40. So as I mentioned, one of the things we started with was the mass market. So we had a lot of traction in, everyday consumer getting Ditto for under $40 as a holiday gift, as a back-to-school item, etc. But what we've also found is being in the space is $40 is a really attractive price point, especially for a product that brings a lot of value to the deaf and hard of hearing community. So let me tell you a little bit more about the product. So in order to use it, you will need to download the app. So you purchase the device for $39.95. There are specials sometimes online where we run it for $30 or $35, but the typical everyday price is $39.95. And once you purchase the product and it arrives, you're actually going to download the free app that comes with the product. And we are in the process of even upgrading the app to make it even more user-friendly. But as you'll see in the photo coming up, it is already a very user-friendly app. So you download the app, you connect the device, the wearable to the app, and you're able to set your customization preferences. Would you like it to vibrate once, twice, 3 times? So for instance, if you want to know, be alerted of incoming calls, you may set the notification to 3 vibrations. If you want to be notified of a Facebook notification or a text message or the fact that you've ordered an Uber and it's arriving, you can set it to 1 vibration. So those are customizable, which is really great, and we got a lot of really good feedback about that because, without looking at your phone, without hearing your phone, you can actually tell what's happening on your phone and you're not missing those important notifications. As you can see on here, it plays well with others, so whether it's Instant Messenger, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or your calls or Uber or Snapchat, any of those apps are integrated. And there's actually more app compatibility coming soon. What we did in February was really open it up to the app community so that others, including developers, can create other apps that will integrate well with Ditto. Also on the bottom here are some of the forthcoming partners. So we're working diligently with several companies on integrating Ditto to really optimize the offer and really create a much more valuable product than it already is. So stay tuned on that. I think we'll have some really exciting stuff to share on our forthcoming partnership. On the right-hand side here, you will see the app itself. So the middle piece shows where it's connected, and on the left side where you see the left phone, it showcases some of the things you can actually customize. So it's custom vibrations. You can set your favorites. You can set the teeter option. Do you want it on or off? The alarm, the timer, etc. You can also test the product to make sure it's working, and if and when your battery does come to an end, it will let you know that you have a certain percentage of battery available. The great thing about it is you do not have to charge this daily. It is waterproof, which is great. As you saw, people actually can go swimming with it. And the app is available through the App Store and Google Play, so it's compatible with a couple of different types of phones. So you can customize every aspect of Ditto through using the app. So whether it's the different vibration patterns that I mentioned for the different notifications, you could be a couple of 100 feet away from your phone and still be in touch with what you really, what's important to you. The Ditto alarm is great because, again, you do not have to, you can just feel the alarm, and you may be the only person who feels the alarm. You can set timers, the teether, and you'll hear about the battery, etc. So it's very easy, very user-friendly, and like I said, the price is great for everything that you're getting. Here's just a little snapshot of what some of our customers are saying, and what we did, we actually just pulled out some of the deaf and hard of hearing users and why they like the product. So as you see at the very top, there's a customer using it on a band that he's got, or she's got a black Ditto, and it says that it's a life-changing product. So, the review is that Ditto has been the most useful product I've purchased in a long time. I'm very hard of hearing, cannot hear any iPhone ringtones. I had it on vibrate but could seldom feel it. And we hear that a lot. First, some of our critics or some of the media may have said, well, I don't understand before trying it. They would say, you could set the phone to vibrate. What's the difference? But what we've seen and what they've seen once they tried it is you can really feel the difference. You do not carry your phone, on your chest or on your shirt. Plus, the phone is clunky. You have to hold it in your hand. Ditto frees you of all that. You can literally have it on your body. You can have your phone in your bag. You can have your phone on the desk, and it's very good at alerting you without having to carry that phone around. So that's a great review. The second review you see here, by the Ditto device. So the woman, Anita, says, my husband not only has a vision problem, but he's also hearing impaired. This device is a lifesaver for both of us. If I need him when he's outside and has taken off his hearing aids, the Ditto will buzz him to let him know that I've called on his cell phone. The device is lightweight and waterproof, and don't hesitate to bite it. It's wonderful. And then the last review on here is says, love it, I'm a deaf adult, and this little guy is a godsend. The vibration is seldom strong enough on that phone, and now, of course, as you can see, the Ditto has solved that problem. So it's been really great to get this kind of feedback, especially when, as I mentioned, the product wasn't originally designed for a specific market, but the fact that it's brought so much value to the market has been really wonderful to see. So we are now working with different other providers in the space to see how we can integrate it and really enhance the lives of many of our customers. So those are just some samples, and you are welcome to look on Amazon. There are plenty of reviews. We've had this product on the market since August of last year, so a little under a year. So there's a nice range of reviews between that time and today. And here's just some additional product details. So the vibrations we already talked about. The wristband is free. I don't think I mentioned that. You pretty much get everything you need to get the product started. The app is free, so you can download it from either phone. I mentioned the battery life, and it's also Bluetooth powered, which you don't have to pull any cords out there. It's very easy, very user-friendly. And if for some reason you are having any issue, which we don't see a lot, it's pretty easy to get customer service. The team is very responsive. You can, just reach out. And we're also available on all social media, which I'll talk about in a minute, so you get a response pretty quickly. Another great thing we saw with this product, even before we launched, kind of when we got into Kickstarter mode, after Kickstarter, and here we are today, is it's been really well received by the media. At Consumer Electronics Show, we've given out a lot of samples, and we've had some really positive reviews about the product. Again, I think the price point helps. It's not a heavy investment, but you're getting a lot of value. And the fact that you don't have to mess around with different cords, you don't have to mess around with putting it in a case because it's waterproof, has also helped. As we look to the future, we look to bring different vibration settings to the product, so even more integration with different apps and the different types of customizations that users can do to really fit the needs of their particular lives. And we are going to continue connecting through social media to make sure that we're always servicing customers and making sure we're always vocal about all the changes and all the updates that are coming that will better fit our customers. So feel free to visit us on simplematters.com, as I see here, the Facebook and Twitter, and let me know if you have any questions.
Anna, yes, there is a question in the chat box, and it's, did you say it works with any sound or just any smartphone?
It works with a smartphone, but it works with either an iPhone, so an Apple device, or it also works with Samsung and non-Apple products. But it is a smartphone because you will need the app. You need to download the app in order to use the product. Well, thank you so much for having us. If you have any other questions outside of this, please feel free to reach out, and we're happy to assist.